In drafting this document, I referred to
Welcome
the
to
1955
YouTube,
revised
Landlord
Constitution
Life,
of Ethiopia,
Maroon Town,
written by
Port
His Imperial
Antonio.
Majesty Haile Selassie I, and took heed to the views of attorneys at law Gordon Robinson and Anthony Gifford, and Honorable Maroon leaders Colonel Richard Curry and Colonel Wallace Sterling. It also includes my understanding of
Welcome,
what I
Melissa
think is
Blake.
necessary
Welcome.
for the good governance of my country, Jamaica, land we love. The proposed Constitution of Republic Jamaica has 86 articles divided into 7 chapters on 34 pages and begins with the Declaration of Republic Jamaica.
Thank you, everybody.
Signed by the 63 MPs, the Taino Chief, Kassi Kalan, and the 6 duly elected representatives of the Maroons, namely Colonel Michael Grizzle, Colonel Richard Curry, Colonel Wallace Sterling, Colonel Marcia Douglas, Colonel Lloyd Latibadair, and Paramount Chieftainess Queen Kamang Gloria Sims, leader of the Maroon Indigenous Women's Circle. It is set to become effective onward from October 16, 2023.
Blessed Angela Lewis, blessing.
Remember, this is a proposal. I shall now read Article 12 that states the rights and duties of the Maroons under the
like and share the live, please.
Jamaica. Article 12A. The Maroons, being the descendants of the Tainos and free Africans who occupied Jamaica before the 1494 arrival of Christopher Columbus, and of former enslaved Africans, recognized locally and internationally as indigenous people of Jamaica, shall collectively own and administrate the following surveyed and clearly defined parcels of land by virtue of these lands being their ancestral homelands from prior to 1655 as acknowledged by the British in treaties dated 1738 and 1739, amounting to 1. Approximately 287,000 acres comprised of Trelawney Town, Flagstaff in St. James, and all the lands situate and lying between Trelawney Town and the cockpits to the amount of 15,000 acres bearing northwest from the said Trelawney Town unto and including a compound town in St. Elizabeth. 2. Over 500 acres at Moortown, formerly New Nanny Town in Portland. 3. Over 500 acres at Charlestown in Portland. And 4. Over 500 acres at Scotts Hall in St. Mary. Article 12B. These Maroon ancestral lands shall be administered by their leadership in their respective area, who are elected among themselves as is customary, consistently for generations past and up until now. Article 12C. Notwithstanding the provisions of Article 11, these Maroon ancestral homelands shall not be sold, leased, rented, or disposed of in any way or by any means. Neither shall any tax, levy, or duty be extracted from the administrators as a result of this privilege, as the lands represent the successful resistance of the Tainos, free Africans, and former enslaved Africans and their descendants, collectively referred to as the Maroons, against the oppression of the Spanish and the British from 1494, and who have earned the status of indigenous people. Article 12. Article 12D. Notwithstanding the provisions of Article 12A and Article 12B, citizens who hold a registered title to lands that is located within these surveyed and clearly defined Maroon ancestral homelands shall have the option to either 1. Be compensated in cash and or kind by the Maroons and thereafter relinquish every hold on such land, or 2. Continue having possession and pay the taxes to the Republic of Jamaica associated with holding a registered title. Article 12E. In keeping with Article 11, individual Maroons and their descendants are eligible to acquire, possess, and dispose of separate lands by virtue of them being Jamaicans. They will then be required to pay the taxes, duties, and or levies charged for this privilege. Article 12F. By virtue of the provisions of Article 12A, 1. The Maroons shall elect from among themselves exclusively 6 representatives of the people to be numbered among the 125 members of the House of Representatives of the Parliament of Jamaica, as provided for in Article 48. 2. 1 representative of the people each shall be designated for the Moortown, Scotts Hall, and Charlestown settlements, while 3 shall be designated for the joint Trelawney Town and Compound Town allotment. These allotments shall be equivalent in all respects to the other 119 constituencies of the country. To this end,
welcome,
the joint
sweetheart.
Trelawney Town and Compound Town allotment shall count as 3 constituencies. 3. Their election and duties shall be in keeping with the provisions of Article 48. Remember, people, this is a proposal that needs to be agreed to by the 70 people I mentioned. I suggest, therefore, that the Maroon leaders meet together to discuss it and agree on what is agreeable to their people, so that they can present a unified position to the Parliament when that time comes. In this regard, I now present to Mr. Donaldson Bernard, on behalf of Colonel Wallace Sterling, this hard copy of the October 7, 2022 revised Constitution of Republic of Jamaica that I drafted. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. And I hope you can encourage your Maroon leaders and members of Parliament to discuss this important document with the aim of having it help to remove the British monarchy from over us and allow us to create a new and glorious history for ourselves and our future generations. Those of you with telephones, write this number down: 1-876-225-1163. Send a WhatsApp message to that number and you will get a copy of this document plus other documents that pertain to it.
Share the live, please.
1-876-225-1163. To God be the glory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone ahead. As you see, we have reached to this section of the program in shorter order than was anticipated. But I'm now going to hand over to Colonel Sterling. Let me just say thank you all for your attention, for your presence here, for your participation. I think it has been a wonderful afternoon, full of color and entertainment and music and dancing, and one which really I think has reached to all of us in one way or the other. Thank you for that. I also want to say thank you concerning yesterday's events. Those of us who were here yesterday participated in a conference concerning the language. And I want to publicly commend Colonel Sterling on this discussion, bringing this issue to the fore and actually engaging the process for making us more aware of the origin of the Comanche language, its importance to us, and ways in which we may bring it to our children and preserve it through the different ways in which we can use it. So at this time, let me hand over to the Colonel, and he will bring it to this function to a close.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I should have been here earlier, but circumstances are such that I was unable to be here because I couldn't be at two places at the same time. And if your peer have decided to award you with something for work that you have done, then I think it is in order that you should have gone to collect it. I think that's the least you could have done, right? But let me say that I want to thank the chairperson, because he was basically, Mr. Brennan was basically a co-host in terms of the chair. I want to apologize for Marcus Gaff, who should have been here. He reached as far as Anato Bay, and then he got a call that the people that he are representing in a land dispute between some private developer and the government out in Bull Bay, that they had brought police, 3 jeepload of police on the site, so he had to turn back as their lawyer to be there with them under that set of circumstances. That is why he was not here. He has to go back. But it's not that he never set out to do that, right? I also want to apologize for some of the persons that we have on the program that should have presented via the Zoom, but we're having a little technical difficulty, and as such, most of those persons were not able so to do. And I hope that even though they could not have presented, that they would have managed to tune in and they would have heard something. Because even if you can't present and you hear, it is good. So here's what happened. I also want to say that the last 2 years, which is obvious to everybody, we never had a face-to-face celebration. So this time around, we were expecting that people would come out. Because people don't want to be pinned up, people want to stretch their feet, walk around, meet others, and have a good time. And as such, we had planned for this. Never mind some rain fell today, because I've told people times and times again, 95 out of 100 times rain is gonna fall on any day. We have grown accustomed to it, so all we have to do is make the necessary preparation for the rain. So we are thankful that it did come, but in the evening, and I also know that there's a likelihood that a little more might come, as well as no more might fall for the rest of the night. Yesterday was an excellent day. No rain fell, and we were happy for that. But let me say something about yesterday's presentation. It is something that we have been planning for quite some while, and we thought that yesterday would have been the best time for us to execute it. What we are trying to do is, we are cognizant of the fact that our foreparents, they spoke a language other than English, and they spoke a language that they have come together as a people and build that language. That language which we call the Cromanti language. And Cromanti language is not Cromanti depicting the people, the Cromanti people from out of present-day Ghana. That's not what it meant. It is a language that is depicting the port of Cromarty, where most of them were held before they were finally shipped out to this side of the Atlantic. So they use that as a unifying force. So therefore, we refer to the language as Cromarty, the drum style as Cromarty, the dance style and everything like that, it is Cromarty. That is what it is to us. That is how we refer to it. Now, it is a language that was used extensively by our foreparents when they were fighting the colonial master, the colonial impostors, the British in particular. And to a certain extent that they did that, they tried their endeavor best not to let the language go outside of the community, and no visitors to the community was allowed to speak that language. It was a means of protecting the people in the community, and that is how they use it. And I want us to understand that it is not something that was taught in school. It's something that you would hear at home sometimes, about something that you would hear extensively when you have a Cromarty play. Because that is the language that you would speak for the ancestors. And that is how they would understand you, that is how they would communicate with you. So, you might say, why is it that they didn't want to inform the young ones about it? But if you don't inform them, they won't know. So we are making all the effort going forward to ensure that this language is taught to the young people in the community. We want them to understand it. But here we are, and this is what happened. You know, sometimes if I heard the elders they say Ontibo. Onti Sumadi, Onti Suma Waka. You're not going to understand what I say, right? But that is not necessarily Cromarty, but it's an old Creole colloquial way of speaking, right? Because you won't hear this, the Maroon way of speaking. You won't hear this outside of Maroon community. So even if I talk about Jamaican, because I would say, in Jamaica, I wish somebody pass this up. I wish somebody walk down this up. But in the Maroon community, you would say, Onti Suma Waka. So it's a whole different thing. Does mean the same thing, but what I said was basically restricted to the Maroon communities. And therefore, we want to be able to revive what of it we can, especially the Cromarty language. Because this is important. So the other aspect is the Cromarty language have a lot of the three derivatives in it. So we might have to somehow involve with that in order to revive the thing, to put it to where we want to put it so that the students and the young people can understand. But that was for yesterday. So we started, this is a journey that we had started before, but somehow we have lost. So we want this time around, once it is properly structured, that when we continue, we will go all the way. And we will put some time frame as to how long we think we should be able to teach this language to the young persons in the community. And I won't say the time frame now, but if you want to achieve something, you have to put some sort of time frame on it. Do you have your goals? And in what period of time you have to achieve that goal? Okay, so that was for yesterday. Today is your regular 90-day celebration. And I did say yesterday that I would be here in the morning because I knew that I had to go to Kingston for the government to put this little badge and this label here, and it says our order of distinction. Officer class, and commander class. But the thing is, what we do as a people, even though it was pinned to me, it doesn't mean that it belongs to me in that sense. Because we would have worked together as a people in order to preserve what we have and to make sure that the culture continue. So it is a collective effort of all the people in the community. It so happened that I happen to be the head, so it looked like I am the one who has been pushing everything. That's not so. That's not how it goes, right? You're gonna get the music, don't worry. Trust me, you're gonna get the music. But the other thing is, the fact that I'm here now, there are a few things I want to say. In 2019, we started that playfield. But it's actually the Sappho. So, you know, if I call it the playfield, it's not really playfield, but we use it as such. But it's the Asafu House, the Asafu Yard, the training ground, the meeting place for the Warriors. That's what it was known as, right? Now the young persons, they play there. It is not totally complete, but I must say a big thank you to the Sport Development Foundation and also to the Minister of Culture and also the Member of Parliament for East Portland, who all of them has been instrumental in letting us have this playfield to where it's at now, right? So, as soon as it is completed the way it should be, then we're gonna have an official opening ceremony. But that will come, that's down the road. But it's not far from here, but it will be done. I also wanna say, because the Member of Parliament and the TEF have seen it fit for us to have a proper paved road from Redhill right up to here, because we can't have a monument there for the World Heritage Site and a monument here for Nani, and you have to commute on bad roads to get to these places. At least we can have the road properly fixed, and it was done, so we congratulate all of those persons who have made all the necessary effort to have it done. We thank them very much for their effort. And that's not the whole
Like
thing
and share
that
the
we are
live,
doing.
please.
We have a beautiful waterfall in the community, Nani Fall. Many persons would have visited it over the years, but to be honest with you, the approach, the stairways, and the rails to the waterfalls are not safe. So we are working jointly with the IAF, the Inter-American Development Funds, through JCDT, to have it fixed. Also, we are approached JCF to get some assistance, and also as well, the Member of Parliament is going to assist us in getting those stairways together. So basically, we can say, at least come next year, when visitors come to the community and they want to go to the waterfall, we can rest assured that they're going to the fall, at least the stairway is safe enough, or visitors friendly, let me put it that way. Because anybody can get hurt in a very safe place. Here it's up to you. So that is one thing. The other thing that we looked at and that we are doing with now, we are improving the domestic water supply that comes into the community of Moortown, Seaman Valley, and Piggery. We have, along with the people from Piggery, get support from JCF to the tune, look here, I'm going to quote a figure. When we did the first part of the project would have been like 68 point something million, right? But I just call it 70 million for a round figure. The fact of the matter is, it is more than that now. And as such, we want people to understand it's not complete. It should have been completed from December last, but bad weather contribute, the bad weather and the very rough terrain contribute to it not being completed. But we are on the point of completion, and when it is done, we can rest assured that the quality of the water will be better, because we are putting in a chlorinating house with a pump. The supply of water would be greater, and more persons can know that, you know, I am getting water that is chlorinated in your house. I know people are complaining already that they don't want chlorinated water. But the fact of the matter is, when the public health inspector come and test the water, chlorine should be in it. Because if anything goes wrong, because you don't want the chlorinated water, you're going to end up either the clinic over there, so the one at the one at Port Antonio and the hospital at Port Antonio, it is government funds that is gonna be there. So if government say you must do this to prevent you from coming there, then let's do what government asks you to do. That's the easiest and simplest thing. For those who don't want to consume the water in the pipe, always have a big spring can go. They have one a sand. They have several other springs that they can go and get water. No problem. But as for the water that is going to come through the pipe, it has to be chlorinated. And there's no two ways about it. Everything that is to be done to make sure that the chlorine is there is in place now. So it's just a matter of us, when one cylinder is finished, you put another cylinder. How much the cylinder costs for now, I'm not sure. But another thing I must say, as I am on the water, they say that water is life. But I'm going to say something further. I agree that water is life. But it is one of those life that you need, for which you need to pay. It's not going to be free, it cannot be free. Electricity is expensive, chlorine is expensive. You get the water, you pay, you're not paying for the full cost. You're making more or less a contribution towards offsetting all of those costs. And trust me, you know, the council cannot and will not continue to subsidize the water for you. You have to pay because you're getting inside. You pay for electricity, you can pay for water. It is cheaper. Nobody pays $500 a month for electricity. Everybody pays more than that. So you can pay. Alright, so something else that bothers us very much, right, is that from time to time people leave the community and they go to other centers. And people go because they want work. People go there because they want more opportunity. And we are cognizant of the fact that many times when you leave your community and you end up in the urban centers, you find yourself in a worse situation than where you left. You end up in slums, you end up in ghettos, you end up in a situation that is not hygienic, and you end up in a situation that is crime infested. So we have to ensure that we do the things to keep people in the community. What is it that we're going to do? It is our plan, and we have been in negotiation to put in a chips plant down in Seaman's Valley. We're going to put in a water backfill plant down there. That is the easier one. The chips plant, I don't call it banana chips, because we're going to be making banana chips, plantain chips, breadfruit chips, dashing chips, and anything that we find around here that can work. That is what we're going to be doing. That way, we are creating employment opportunity for young people, a way that to keep them in the community. The other thing that we are looking at, and which we are going to be executing shortly, we know many times people come to the community, and one of the things that they are saying, when they come to the Maroon community, they were expecting to find a community as it was 250 years ago or 300 years ago. And we are saying to them, no, it's not like that. We are not locked away in some sort of time capsule where we didn't move forward. We move forward. But at the same time, we have the land space, we have the know-how, so therefore we are going to be recreating what we consider a traditional Maroon village, where visitors can come, look at it, this is how the Maroon village was, and they can stay in the huts that we are going to be building. Save and except for one of the huts where it will be totally for exhibition purpose. And that hut will have the exact kind of furnishing. It won't have any stone, not any board on the floor, it will be earthen floor. But the others will have modern facilities on the inside, only at the facade for that period of time. So we are working and we are doing what we have to do. As I said, we are working and we are doing what we have to do to ensure that the Maroon communities prosper. We have worked closely over the years with the Jamaica Conservation Development Trust, and we have executed, along with Jom as well, and we have executed projects in the various Maroon communities in the upper part of the Rio Grande Valley, stretching all the way to Ayfield. Every community has benefited from these projects. We are now undertaking this IAA project, which goes all the way from Scottsall to Ayfield. So Scottsall is at it. Charlestown has had their share before, so Charlestown is not a part of it. So what is it that we are doing? Every community can identify the thing that they want to get done in their community. And it is mostly about ecotourism, it's mostly about hiking. Every community can have a hiking trail, every community has some sort of waterfall or some water thing that they will be involved in. And the project itself had started already. Because one of the things that we had to do in order to ensure that this project is a success, first of all, we have to train tour guides. And we have to train people to be what you call Team Jamaica certified. So the tourist board, the government of Jamaica have decided that any and everybody who has to interface with tourists in Jamaica has to have one common training. So the same thing that I or you here can say to a tourist coming to the country, this can be said in Negril as well. There's been no difference. Well, because we have to be doing all of these things, then we'll be training the tour guides. And most of the communities, the other thing, all of the projects that they do have something to do with the river. So therefore, we have to be training lifeguards as well. So these things are things, the tour guides are in place, the Team Jamaica training has already taken place, it's the lifeguard training that is yet to complete. And then we will execute the projects under this IAF project. Another thing that happened, what the IAF requires of us as a people is that we first have to know how many visitors are coming to our community. What are the income level that people have? Because if when the project is complete, after a time you must see an increase in the visitors to the community and you must see an increase in the income level of the people. That is how you're going to be able to judge whether or not the project was successful. Alright, okay. There you go. Technology again. Maybe I have to go for the bank. So here we are. These are the things that we are doing, and we want to do them and to execute them in a manner that the people of the community will benefit from them, and they will benefit tremendously. Because we don't want our young people to believe in here, and then the next thing you know, you take up the newspaper or you listen to the news and you hear them get shot somewhere in Kingston because they're involved in some wrongs. And if they were in the community, they could have done much better than they are doing outside there. So we will do those things. We will do all that is required of us to ensure that the community prosper and that people get employment. Because it's not the hardest of things to get done. But let me say this again before I leave. I want to apologize to the persons who should be joining us on Zoom, and we were not able to accommodate them in the manner that we had planned. There was no internet connection here. I asked the gentleman who provided us with internet to set it up, and somehow, some way, it worked. It is working here, but it is not working as it keeps going on and off, and that's a bad thing. Yesterday it was much better. We were in the school, but we couldn't have this function inside the school today. It has to be outside here. It is really going on in and out, and I have no answer for that question as to why it is going like that. But let me just apologize to them, and hoping that next year we will be better. We will be much more equipped with the improvement in technology. Then we can do that. So I want to thank all those who have shown up. I want to thank all the persons who have participated. I want to say special thanks to the people from Scottsdale, to the people from Charlestown, to the people from Apompong, and I don't know, because I think Grizzly would have joined us via Zoom, but as far as I am concerned, Zoom is not working as it should, so we are mighty sorry for that. But we are streaming live. So if we're streaming live, it means that people can join us live. And that's the way the thing is today. We're not going to sheriff or walk away from that. We're going to continue to do so whenever we have celebration. Remember, it is going to be live, it is going to be by Zoom, and it's going to be face to face, right? So bear that in mind. So I always want to conclude by asking my drummers. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have some drumming, because I know at the end of the day, most people are here not to hear people and people but they want to hear the drum. They want to hear the drum. And we're not going to disappoint you. We're going to make sure that you hear. So after the drummers from Motown, then you're going to have the drummers from Scottsdale, and they will all go together again and play. Because
Like and share the live, please. Bless up admins. Thank you very much. Great job. You know, I'm still gonna do it so far. Thank you for your $5.
go crazy? That's it, I'm done.
Yes, so I want to thank the drummers and the dancers again for that excellent performance. But we're going to have another performance from the dancers and the singers and the drummers from Scottsall. But before they do, before they come, we're going to have one more speaker, and he is Mr. Hugh Johnson. He's the Vice Premier for SWORD. Mr. Johnson, don't tell me you disagree on me now. Oh, okay. So, most of you don't know what SWORD is, but I'm sure Mr. Johnson is capable, more than capable, to explain to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hugh Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I must tell you that I'm feeling happy to be here with you, my compatriot, my comrades, my friends, and my relatives. I'm here representing the state of the African diaspora because, as we all know, one of our main reasons for being here today is to celebrate our great Queen Nanny's victory and her warrior spirit. The state of the African diaspora was designed to bring the diaspora to continental Africa and continental Africa to its diaspora, its children, wide and far, all over the world. I learned that there should be two presentations earlier, but the technology failed us as it relates to the internet connectivity. So, and that should have been by the Prime Minister of SWORD, Dr. Louis George Tin, and the first Vice Prime Minister, which is Queen Amako. So, the task is resting on me, the second Vice Prime Minister in the state of the African diaspora, to explain to you the mission and purpose of being here. We would have seen over the years, for the last 400 or 500 years, the tribulation of our people. We were at a commanding position, and for some reason or another, we were relegated to the back burner, and we were taken across the Atlantic. We were taken advantage of, and we are saying, time come. It's time for us to reunite with and enjoy the blessings of the greatest continent on earth, which is Africa. As part of this drive, we'll be having a digital slave route where you can go online and see all the slave routes that were designed and how we were taken from Africa, and we want to chart our way back. that should be the presentation of our PM. Our first Vice Prime Minister, she had slated to speak on our sovereignty and our citizens' rights. Because I must share with you that each of us are sovereign. Each of us, we have rights that we aren't conscious of. And the powers that be are exploiting and taking disadvantage of that situation. So she wanted to do a presentation to bring us up to speed a little more as it relates to our rights and sovereignty as a people. And if I may segue into what I had intended to speak on, is how can we, using our own resources around us, to create generational wealth? Because sometimes what has bugged us in the past is we didn't get here within a week or a day. It took us 500 years to reach where we are. And we want to get back to where we ought to be in a matter of days. So I'm saying to you that just like the great Martin Luther King said, I've seen the promised land, but he didn't stop there. He make it plain that I might not get there with you. So he was of the consciousness that he might be taken out before we would have realized that dream. So I'm saying to you here now that as it relates to building our generational wealth, we need to build wealth for, not for me now, but for my children, and generations to come. So, how can we do this? We need to start looking on the resources around us, because if we remember the story in the Bible when God called Moses, the Bible referred to Moses as the greatest man that has ever lived. And God called him, and he felt inadequate. He felt, what can little me do to liberate my people? I'm stuttered. I don't have much resources. And he was making all kinds of excuses because he didn't want to take up the challenge that God called him to take up, to deliver his people from bondage. But the Lord, in his wisdom, said to Moses, what is that in thine hand? If you remember the Bible passage clearly. And Moses answered, a rod. The Creator said to him, use it. So he's asking us to use whatever we have in our hand. Whether it's the vegetation we have around, whether it's the rocks we have around, whether it's the mountain we have around, whether it's the medicinal plants we have around, what is it you have in your hand? Use it. And we are here to help you, to hold your hand as it relates to the plan of action that the state of the African diaspora has for its people in the diaspora, and what ECO6 has for its people in the diaspora, and also the kings of Africa, because they are united, because we have the United Kingdoms of Africa behind all of this, pledging their wealth, their resources, their gold, their cobalt, and all their precious minerals to help their children in the diaspora to live a more productive and prosperous life. That 1,000 years from now, or 500 years from now, our children can be better off and not being relegated to the vagaries of society as we are now because of colonialism, what it has done to us. So we need to hold ourselves and pick up ourselves by our bootstraps by utilizing what resources we have in our hands, as simple as they may be. And I may share with you that anything you have Jamaican, once it hit the African continent, people want it like wildfire, because Jamaica has been the forefront of the liberation struggle And for that reason, the Africans respect, love, and appreciate Jamaica. So there's no product you can have here that it won't be able to trade with your brothers and sisters on the continent, because that is how we are going to create generational wealth, by trading among ourselves. As we all know, the saying goes, why the Chinese and other nations are doing so well, whenever a dollar goes into their community, it stays there for up to 30 days. While when a dollar goes in the black community, it stays there for a measly 6 hours. We don't trade among ourselves. The first thing I want to get when I have some money is to go and buy a Nike, sending the money away. I want KFC, sending the money away. I want name brand. And just beside me is my brother and sister who make fine garment that I can patronize to build our local economy. And I beg of you, let us rivet this deep in our consciousness that I will trade with my neighbor. I will trade within my community. And starting that, we are on the correct road for building generational wealth. So without laboring the point, I want to thank you for coming out. I want to thank you for the day's activities so far, and hope that we may continue to celebrate our victories and build generational wealth, that we may be able to live a more comfortable and productive life. Thank you.
appreciate it. I suck coming a stay. That's why me not go with coming a Beat it, jump, touch him up, blow it with them, wheel it with them, hold it with them. Ricky, licky, remember, up, hold it with them, hold him. Come back. Jump. Baby gremlins. Baby germs. Baby germs. Don't make her have to drive, come beat to and jump your fear, no baby germs. Baby germs. A Portland me come from. Baby germs, careful. Especially that's why I come today and want you see what Portland look like. Baby germs, be careful. Baby germs. Catch and done. Catch and done. See glass. No matter step on the glass. Take up the glass. Bless up was wonderful. It was wonderful. This segment is specially dedicated to baby germs. Have fun. Hey, lunchtime, break time, break time, break time. Drinks down there, so I go for my drinks. Little break time, little break time. Right, that's the also sippy. Hold on. Hey! Oh, yeah, today I'm Maroon there. Have fun. See your drinks later. Pass it.
We have all like Jason.
Yeah, me just there tell baby germs say. Him do make me come back and knock two of them drum and see him backside, you know. Baby germs, careful Portland we come from. Yeah, yeah, baby germs. Careful. Don't make me bad mind take me. You notice Rani African girl come by here. From where name they take in drum and say to him ex-husband say boom ba da 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 boom ba da 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 da. Don't make me have to come up here for you. Baby germs, behave yourself. I boy where that sing. Man wake up here then well. No, me use a dance coming out, that's why. What I think me to come out? I come out all the while. Nah, I don't really want to get in there. Yeah?
But me I tell you, say, me up yes,
you have a trunk fit on up in there.
I rope on my leg.
Where say me can't get a cola anything? I bet me make you walk go down. See something done now. Me just come in and me come late. When?
Me see you.
No, sir, me come before that. And it up there, so. My rubbish bin there even there. My rubbish bin there. I don't know why me can't just dash right. But everybody a dash. No. All right, people, it's only few left. the party part done. Because when you then start catching a mile, you know it's a dangerous things can happen. We make your day okay. No, I'm do it today. You know everybody, a couple people welcome to me, but in this hot man and ask me which part me do it. I tell them say I do it this morning. I don't want them come cuss me about my teeth, I want to go to the dentist too. Show me. No. You have your finest split. See why I like meat to sell them.
Look here. If the people who know really experience, them and they cannot represent normal.
Rasta,
Yeah.
landlord. I always I hear you up still, you know.
Yeah, man.
Anywhere else, them are going to start music now, so we have to go turn off YouTube because this go on until the music start. When this finish now, them are I sound time. So guys, see you later. Oh, thank you everybody in my life. Love you. Love you guys. You know the music can go on. And the segment we come late because you know the mix up on Facebook, but we still get some of it. Love you. Thank you all for your support. See you later on. Landlord Fan Live. Love you guys. Bless up yourself.